We are going to draw a cone today. So this is an example of what we're going to do. You see it's very simple. Cone shape, rounded on the bottom, light source from this side here, and the casting a shadow this way right here. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me get a clean piece of paper. And we will get rolling on this. Okay. I want to start by just sketching out with my ebony pencil. Oh, I don't know if you can see that this way. Ebony pencil. I'm going to sketch out a cone. So you can, I guess you could use a ruler if you'd like. I don't know that you need to, but if you feel more comfortable doing it, go for it. Okay, so that's my cone there. I can make it a little bit more angled this way. I don't like the way that's looking. You know, that's the beauty of, you know, art. You don't like it, you can just redo it. Use that eraser a little bit, or just sketch another line. Won't hurt anything. Okay, so we've got our cone. I want to make this rounded, a little bit more rounded. Okay, now what I want to do is I just want to start laying in our values. And remember, we're going to have it light this way, so it's going to be darker along this side here. So I'm going to turn my paper, and I like doing that. I like turning my paper when I'm drawing, and I think you will too. You could try it, and you don't like it, that's fine. Just do what you think will work best for you. Okay, so I'm going to try to put some values down here, really dark values on the side, and lighter as I go towards the middle. So I want to just slowly get lighter and lighter and lighter until I get to the edge there. I want to make this even darker. Again, I'm just trying to turn it, get some material down here. Okay, maybe go a little bit darker. Okay, I can probably go down here and clean this up a little bit. I know this looks a little rough, but don't worry about it. If it's a little bit rough, we'll clean it up fine. And like I said, I like to turn my paper around. You know, some people don't do that. That's okay too. Do what you think will work best for you. I'm just going to tell you what I think works best for me. You might have a better idea, and that's great. Okay, remember, as we get to the other side here, I'm going to get lighter and lighter and lighter. Okay, I've kind of roughed that out a little bit. Now, if I want to, I can start by cleaning up this edge a little bit. And to do that, if I just take a piece of paper here and my eraser, I can do that. Clean that up a little bit. Pretty easy. Okay, that helps a little bit. And you can do this, and then what if I come over here and erase a little bit over here? We'll see if that helps any. You know, sometimes you just have to try some things and see what works for you. Don't worry about it if it, you know, doesn't work out. You can try something different. You know, art, you're not supposed to stress over. You're supposed to have fun with it. Some people, some of my students don't. They just really, they struggle, and they get, I don't know, frustrated. And I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. It's okay. You're fine. You know, and sometimes you work on an art project and it doesn't go as well as you hope. I'm going to use a tissue here to try to blend it. You know, with art, it's just like anything else. You want to be good at it. You have to practice. And if you don't practice, well, probably not going to be that good. Of course, there are always some people that are naturals. I've had some students who are just like amazing. And you know, they just really had an eye for it. And I think art is like that, just like anything else. You I mean, sometimes you get people that are they just understand it, you know? And that happens a lot of things. It happens like in math, you know, in math, you just get kids that understand what the teacher's talking about, you know, they just seem to catch it. And just maybe the way their mind works. Or you get like athletes, they just know how to move their body, you know, and it doesn't, it's not hard for them, you know, they just understand it. And certainly a skill. Some of them make you very rich. Okay, I kind of got some value laid down on here. I'm going to put a little bit lighter over here. I'm going to kind of put just a little bit of light in there. Just a little bit darker edge on the edge there. So if you get it a little too dark and you want to lighten it up, feel free to take your eraser in there and just lighten it up a little bit. And yeah, it's looking okay. And then I can always go back with my pencil. If I don't like that, I can go back and make it darker. And I do want to make this darker. Don't be afraid to use a ruler too if you want to get really a sharp edge. You know, you could put a sharp edge on here. You know, usually I say don't draw a line. Let the value be your line, because there's a difference between this value and the weight of the paper, and that creates the line. And usually that's what I tell people to do. But you know, if you draw, I don't want you to outline it. I think outlining would be a bad idea. But you know, if you're way dark over here and you want to draw a sharp line on there, then draw it, you know, see how it looks. Okay, I could probably spend more time on this cone and work on it a little bit more, but I don't think you want to watch me draw this the whole time. So I'm going to move on. So I want my light to be cast this way. So I'm thinking that my shadow will fall over here. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of sketch out where I think my shadow would be. I don't know, kind of like this maybe. You know, unless you have a real model and you're casting the light, and you know, not going to be able to tell exactly. Oop. But you know, we're just drawing this without, you know, using an actual cone. So I'm sure it'll be fine. Remember, we're supposed to have fun with art and not supposed to be stressful. Although it can be, you know, when I'm working with my students with clay, a lot of times it can be stressful for them to work with clay because it never turns out the way they think, or the clay starts to collapse because they don't have it in the right condition. And I try to tell them, don't worry, I'll help you. It'll be fine. You know, it'll be okay. We'll make it work. And sometimes it can be a little frustrating, especially when you work on a project, and then you're not happy with it. Well, that's all my projects. There's not a lot of them I'm like done with. I'm like, oh, it's exactly what I wanted. Sometimes I'm just like, it's exactly not what I thought. If you want to clean up this line here, you know, you could do that too. If you want it to be a little fuzzy, you think it looks better, that's okay. Okay, so maybe I want to make that a little sharper. Maybe I'll make this side a little sharper too. Just an old piece of paper will do it. Don't use one of your good pieces of paper though. Need that for drawing. Okay. So that's a good start. I would probably go back and darken areas up. I might consider lighting, you know, making this lighter. You know, you could work on the shadow a little bit more and clean this up a little bit, but you kind of get the gist of what you're supposed to do with this. So go ahead and create the cone, do the best you can. Remember where your light source is, think about where the shadow would be cast. you know, make sure you craft it well, and I'm sure it will be wonderful. And I hope you learn a lot. Okay, I will see you next time.